don't know by now, Outcome Memories version 0.2 was supposed to release a few days ago. But as you can tell by the title of this video and how I'm saying it, that clearly did not happen. In today's video, we're going to be going through all the information that we know of this time and when version 0.2 will actually come out. But before we begin, I want to say make sure and like and subscribe so you can get more content like this. But anyways, let's begin. So starting off with the biggest part of this is when is Outcome Memories version 0.2 coming? Originally, the update was supposed to come out December 2nd. Now, you might be asking yourself, what happened? Well, here's the thing. Even though the game itself on Roblox said it and the devs were hinting towards it, it was never actually planned to release on this date. It was kind of a hoax date for a fact that they did switch it a day beforehand to December 2nd, 2199. I mean, I don't think we're playing version 0.2 in 200 years. So yes, it is still unconfirmed of when the update will actually be releasing. This means it could be next month, it could be 3 weeks from now for all we know, or it could be next July, which would be insane. But the devs had actually talked about this in the past few days. Basically, the devs were getting a lot of backlash for this. I mean, kind of makes sense, since they were trying to hint towards it, but it was never actually a set release date. In the beginning, they wanted to release it on Halloween. But unfortunately, since they wanted to remake some maps and do a new remodel, it didn't really work out as planned. So then, they tried to release it later, which was December 2nd, but they never actually planned for it to be a thing, so it's going to be released at an even later date, which is still unknown. But for what's actually done inside the updates, there's actually a lot. They said that every single map has been finished, including Green Hill, but they haven't shown anything for it yet. They've also included some new events for the last 80 seconds, which will be pretty interesting to see when it comes out. They also said that Colossus and Tripwire are completely done now. They say they might have a few bugs, but other than that, they're pretty much full-fledged characters. Then, of course, if you have been inside the community, you know they're actually doing a recode from version 0.2 to version 0.3. But during this recode, it will actually come out between version 0.2 and version 0.3, but after version 1.2, their main focus is Fleetway, and of course other things like Not Perfect version 0.2 and bug fixes. And they also said the fact that almost all the UI will be getting reworked, so even though everything sounds pretty close to being finished, they still said that they don't know when the date will actually be. This means that it won't be coming out next week or the week after that. What we do know is that things are progressing well. Now, one of the biggest reasons why it didn't come out a few days ago was the fact of the time frame. If you don't know, for where the devs live and stuff, many of them are inside of high school and college. Now, this might not mean a lot to you depending on where you are inside your life, but for this reasons, it's actually exams for them right now. So although yes, many of us do want the updates to come out, unfortunately, it'll be pretty complicated for them to come out since they are studying for things that are pretty important in life. I mean, remember, Outcome Memories is a passion project for almost all the devs. It isn't actually a real job since you can't really make money off a sonic.exe game. So that reason included, it'll probably be at least another few days until progress on the game actually starts up again, since many of them aren't even on right now. But with that, let's continue on to some new things that will be coming out before version 0.2. The next thing that they said is that 2011X will actually be getting a buff. This is crazy for a fact that if you know how to play the game, 2011X is getting nowhere near you. For the amount of combos and stuff, he is generally a weak killer, and like I said on the map Not Perfect, the map itself is a bigger threat than 2011X. They've also stated that for Fleetway Sonic, he is supposed to come in part 2 of version 0.2, but depending on how much progress they make, they might actually release it with the same date as Colossus and Tripwire. So this means instead of getting 2 characters and then a second character in a hotfix, we would be getting all 3 characters from the very beginning, including the 2 survivors. Now, if you want to know more information about these characters, I did it last video and a few videos beforehand, so recommend you go check them out, but this video is strictly just for everything we need to know. And the thing is, Not Perfect version 2 will actually be releasing. Because of how long this update's taken, they've actually had time to complete both Green Hills, like I said earlier, and Not Perfect. For Not Perfect version 0.2, they stated that there will be a lot more space to move around. And instead of taking damage when you fall off the map, you'll actually just ragdoll. This means instead of losing half your HP by accident hitting a bumper or something, you'll ragdoll for a few seconds. So if he EXEs near you, you will take a hit, but it won't permanently disable you within the match. And for things new, is that You Can't Run will actually be getting a new version. This means You Can't Run version 2 will be coming out in version 0.2. The reason we're doing this is that many people don't actually like the state of You Can't Run, and it's pretty confusing of a map for how many loose ends there are. But because of this, they will be changing all the designs inside of the map and doing a complete map overhaul. Now, although we don't have a planned layout yet, this does mean that the map will be completely changed and probably look more like the source material. Also, they said the newer map will look more organic, and I assume we'll have a lot more layers since they said Eggman will thrive within the map. Even though the You Can't Run we have right now does have a lot of layers and areas that people are able to jump up and the EXE can't follow, I assume the new one will be a lot more like the original inside the EXE game. This means the map might look more grittier and have more bodies around the place, but also be a lot more cooler, since I'm not sure if they'll be adding Knuckles' climb. I mean, believe me, if Colossus can, he can too. But with all of that, even though the thing is taking a lot longer than most of us expected, they are making up for adding a lot more changes within the update. So basically how this trend is working is the more time we wait, the more stuff we get added to the update. So we wait 3 more months, who knows, we may even get a 4th EXE. But you know what, that's just wishful thinking. Let's stick with what we know for right now. And of course, for a tinier change, is the lobby will be changed. Of course, this doesn't really affect any matches, because I mean, you kind of stand around there anyways, but I hope it also includes the fact that you are able to open the shop during the maps. I mean, if you see this, I gotta say, the fact that once you're down, you can't open the shop is insane to me. Most matches, you're just sitting there for around 4 minutes and you can't even open the shop or get back to the lobby. You're just stuck in the purgatory of watching 2011 act. And believe me, we do not want to be playing his game. But now, we're on to probably the most important part of this. So even though all of these changes are getting tweaked, they will all come in one humongous explosion of an update. They'll most likely be spread out by either weeklies or bi-weeklies. This means that they're basically all close to being finished, but they'll release it one at a time. For example, we'll get version 0.2 with the characters, version 0.2b with most likely the map changes, and then version 0.2c with the rest of the changes they want to add. They're most likely going to do this for a fact that they want to give the community more stuff, because I mean, it's been half a year since the first update. But they also want to balance it out, so if there is big issues, they can fix it a lot easier for releasing so much content at one time and having so much bugs to fix. And of course, by the time the game releases, there'll probably be like a million cosmetics and things for everyone, so you don't have to worry about that. So if I haven't told you to say before, which I definitely have, I recommend at least 25,000 rings if you want to buy a lot of cosmetics for the characters, and honestly, the characters themselves. But yeah, Outcome Memories version 0.2 was delayed. How long this delay will be, your guess is as good as mine, cause believe me, they don't even know yet. And of course, that is going to be the end of today's video. I know it was a little bit shorter than usual, but I mean, this wasn't a pretty important topic to cover, but there's not really that much to cover inside of the actual video. I mean, if I did it originally, this would be a 7-second short. Okay, so it's going to be a little bit shorter, but I hope you all liked and enjoyed. And make sure to comment down below when you think version 0.2 will be releasing for Outcome Memories. This game is beloved by most of the community. It still has a giant average of over 20,000 players playing it at any given moment. So although there might be some disparity inside of the community for how long this update is reaching, I hope you all come to terms with the fact that it will be releasing at some point. For plans after that for version 0.3, they have no idea. But as long as the community keeps showing support, I assume it will come out, and then 0.4 is a long shot. But anyways, that's going to be today's video. I hope you all liked and enjoyed, and if I don't see you next video, then I'll probably see you in game. But anyways, later.